Pruning an apple tree is quite complicated, actually very difficult I find, as I am an amateur gardener. But I'm also a stubborn one, so I'm gonna give it a go and try to do my best. I use this ladder, which I got from a man in Sicily, and so it's really very strong. It's a bit heavy, but okay, that's fine. I just love the form of it, and that I have a small point at the top, and it's very easy to handle and kind of come into the tree. So what I do as a step one, I move in and I take away all the vertical branches. They're just taking energy from the tree. Apples are never going to grow on them, so I just snip them off. That's my first step. So the key is to keep the tools clean in between each tree, because you clean them with alcohol before you start a new tree. Otherwise you can bring bacteria from one tree to another tree. So that's a very important thing to think of. Ow! Ow! Too thick. This is my latest toy. I feel I'm cutting a bit more than I normally do because the branches are damaged from the hail, and we also have lately we have an awful dry climate, which is, I can see there is a change to the trees. So I'm cutting off quite a few dried branches, at least kind of a third of the branch is dry. Well, that's what the new climate is doing to us, unfortunately. I love to cut. My husband calls me Attila, and Attila was a warrior at 500, and wherever she passed there was nothing left. It's a nice compliment. This is going, this is going, this is going. So why is everything growing into the center? There is some energy problem here. This is a mess. There is actually 1, 2, 3, 4 mixed together. So now, as I am an amateur, what the heck am I gonna choose? It's difficult. This is gonna fall down with an apple. Maybe I do the center. Where you see the little beginning of leaves, that's what's gonna make fruit. It's hard. Sometimes I can imagine that I cut the wrong one. What I do kind of in closer to summer, actually June, beginning July maybe, I go over the tree again, and if you have some growth, they're much better to cut off. I didn't do it last summer, and I can tell they are too strong and too many of them growing up. Whew. It's 11 o'clock and I think I'm ready for a coffee break. have lived outside of Sweden for more than 40 years, but I realized that you can't take the Swede out of me. In Sweden we have a very strong tradition of having a coffee break at 11 o'clock every day. Practically Sweden stops because everyone is taking a break with a cup of coffee and a piece of cake. I made a cake yesterday. It's an orange sponge cake, which is tasty. I also love baking. Baking is really relaxing. When I'm stressed or I have too much on my mind, I go into the kitchen and I make a cake, and it's so grounding and relaxing. Somewhere I picked up a great idea which I love, and this is now my new habit. I make coffee, fake coffee, from chicoria, which is dandelion coffee. And then I add almond milk and a little bit of powder of cacao, and it's delicious. This is now my new habit, and it's not so harmful as the toasted coffee beans for your system, and I love it. I can definitely recommend it. I'm going to show you how I make it in the next video. So this is a great routine. I'm Swedish. I might not get any apples this year. I have a feeling. If I get apples on this tree, I can tell you that they're really tasty. I don't remember the name of it. We went to a garden who is only growing vintage apples, and this is big red apples, and they're so sweet and crunchy. These apples are my favorite. Okay, then all of these branches which I cut down, actually what I did last year, many of them are like so straight and so flexible, they're gorgeous. And what I did, did a weave in the vegetable garden as a little sustaining wall, and it looked beautiful. But I came back to the garden this year and I feel it didn't last very well. It's kind of dry and some is broken. So I think what I'm going to do this year, I'm just going to collect them all and chip them. Chipped wood is something I never have enough of. You need it a little bit everywhere, on your fruit, on your berries, around the drier garden where you have herbs. So I'm going to chip them this year. I think I'm giving up for today. This was one tree. I probably have 10, 14 trees, and it's already end of March. I'm a little late. Normally this work should be done January and February, so I do have a couple of busy days to come, but I'm pleased. This is how I do it, and hopefully I'm doing the right thing. It's time for cleanup. I'm gonna go and get a green garden sheet so it's easier for me to move the branches to the chipper. I might come back tomorrow with fresh eyes because I feel I'm a little bit blinded. I can't see anymore what I'm doing. So tomorrow with fresh eyes and a fresh mind, I might... Looks a little messy in there and looks a little messy right there. So, but that's tomorrow. I do love my life. Who wants to go in a gym in a loud music, sweaty environment when you can do this? I love gardening. I'm cutting some branches because they're too wide to put in the trimmer. Wow, it has been some day, pretty intense, pruning the apple trees. But wow, was that a lucky day with this beautiful weather. March is crazy how hot it is. And no rainfall for 4 months. It's pretty scary. Anyway, I think I need a bath after this day and a glass of Prosecco. I thank you so much for watching this video. I'd be thankful if you have any comments or questions, or definitely some comments on how you would trim your trees and do it differently than I have done. That'd be great. And don't forget to push the subscribe button at the corner. And I see you next time. Arrivederci.